recording now.
This now. Ugh. It's so nervous when I have people watching me.
Right, bro.
Like,
If
even
you
though
feed,
like
it's
I've
all right.
known you
If
for
you
so
feed, the
long.
better it is if you feed, right? More things to look at.
Yeah, 100%. It's funny. And I accidentally went W. Like
It's
a
all good.
mongoloid. That's alright. It's not gonna waste here. Usually I don't smite my red first.
All right. Probably should have since you started W, but that's all right.
Yeah. I'll smite the Krug if I have to. Do you want me to go on that? Really? I don't think so, buddy.
I mean, the waves pushed in.
She's so full health. They're not even trading. You think that would be something good to go in on early at 3?
I mean, we'll go over it. We'll go over it later.
Okay.
Oh, look at him go.
Yeah, I mean, he fucking gamed on her. That happened fast. He's bot lane's gaming as well.
Yeah.
Mm. He should be finishing his Krugs up here, shouldn't he? Kindred.
He's full clearing.
Yeah. He's back. Is gonna be anything here? And I'm just gonna reset. Wow.
Yeah, reset.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasting time. You don't have anything to do, anything to take.
Nope.
Well, yeah, mid.
Mm.
All right, yeah, you missed it. Okay.
Yes. Sit right here. Do you want to go in on this? Oh, yep. Yep. Oh. Nope. Couldn't get it off.
That's all right.
My code didn't come up sooner. I shouldn't have wasted flash on that. But yeah. Oh well. She's all healed up.
All good.
Yeah.
What do you think Kinder's doing now?
Huh?
What do you think Kinder's doing now after she kills you?
I think she's gonna go for that immediately because
Yeah, and
she
that's
knows
gonna be
I'm
gone,
down.
right?
Yeah, it's
So
probably
where
gonna
should
be
you go
gone.
instead?
Probably go to Krugs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And if you look bot, yep. Ping the bot. Kinder's going there.
Yeah. Hello. Alright, now I get out of here, go to Krugs. Should I clear some of this? Stay for the wave and the XP?
It's
because it's gonna crash.
You should probably. I mean, Jin's gonna be there in roughly enough time. It should be fine. You can
Yeah,
just take your
yeah.
Krugs.
Yep. I don't want to take his farm either.
So after Kindred dies, where's she going? Right.
After she dies, she's probably gonna go back for clear. She's gonna go bot side, if anything. I feel like.
Why bot?
Why bot side? Because her camp should be coming back up already. I don't think she had time to clear. Ooh, okay, she's top side. All right, so what did I assume wrong there?
We'll go over it in the VOD. We'll go over it in the VOD. You should just focus on game now. Yeah.
I think she's gonna be headed towards mine. Mm. Probably gone already, huh? Yeah. Yes. She's already a level up on me too.
All right.
Yeah.
Reset. Just reset. There's nothing you can get.
Yeah. Emo's fucking smurfing on this. Ass.
No. Mid.
Do you want me to,
Luna's
do you want me
rotating.
to go in on this?
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, yeah.
Luna's rotating. You should go. Because if Kindred counters, they're dead. But if you're there, even if they kill you, you should be looking at. You should be looking at the fight. Yeah.
Hmm. Oh my god, the old. Oh. I fucked that up big time.
All good.
Yeah. Okay.
And there we go.
Jin came in, cleaned. She's probably going right to my red here.
Yeah, you can probably ping your
I'd
team to go.
imagine.
Ping your team to go. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
You go. Turn on the Turk. Turn on the Turk. Turn on the Turk. Yeah. There you go. Bank that shit. Yeah.
Yep.
Now what?
Drugs here. Just farm up.
No, dragon.
No, drag. Yeah, we have pride
Yeah.
up.
You just killed everybody.
That's true.
Ping Timo. Be fine.
Yeah.
You
No,
turn on
we're
Kindred.
definitely fine. I got Leona here at least. That's fine. I've got smite up. Whew. Yeah, I'm overthinking things. Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, God.
Yeah, that's alright.
She just fucking melts me.
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe flashing on her, getting the Q off, and then ulting into her might
That's
have
what I was gonna suggest.
been a
But
better move. Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Maybe extend the fight. Timo can come up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All good.
Instead of trying to flash away when I was gonna die anyways. I think her poison still kills me in ult though, huh?
Maybe. It's okay.
Yeah. Mm. 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 Shit.
Look top. You can warn him just in case he doesn't see.
Yeah.
Look bot then. If you no Kindred's there, look bot. Look how far out they are. You have a Leona
Yeah.
that's about to hit level 6. Chemo's there.
You're going on me. guess.
The wall through the wall, yeah.
Mm.
Nice.
Oh wow. That fucking burn off of Red Smite is so strong, I've discovered. I used to never go Red Smite at all.
Yeah, it's
I,
OP.
I think I'd go fucking Blue Smite every game, and then I just realized how strong it was.
Like blue smite on first strike champions. So OP, you can
Yeah,
lead, you can always trigger first strike with blue smite. It's nuts.
and if they're squishy as well, when I'm playing Ka, I'll still go Blue Smite a lot just for the extra damage. But well, she took my whole fucking top side.
Yeah, she took Rift, so she likely took that.
Mm. Let's see here. What's going on mid? I need to wait out Ross here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just gonna reset actually. Nope. Try to fight this top. No here. Yeah, I still died to the poison and all even.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
I took bad pathing on that. I probably should have gone right here on the cast instead of circling onto the Taric. Oh no, 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 no. No. Yes. Mm.
Yeah, that's good. Mark treads are good.
Yeah. I don't like building them if I don't have to, but
Top. Good
yeah.
top, yeah. I mean, you may not be able to help, but you just, you gotta. Things are, like what, like
I
when
know.
you see Kindred go top there, right? What do?
I
Right?
should be going
If you can't,
bot
if you
side.
can't help, yeah. If you
I
can't
can't
help,
fight.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you can't help, and you know where the Kindred is, then you have numbers to make a play, right?
She knows. Yeah. Oh, what the fuck? Hold on. Wait. How did my fucking key break? My camera control. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Should. I'm so behind this Kindred. Holy.
It's alright. So Dragon's coming up in 15. Kindred's
15.
probably gonna be there, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna drop a
Cass is dead, so you
peek
can
over the
take it
wall
on
here.
spawn, right?
Yeah.
If you were, oh yeah, right there. Leona just got jumped on. I think you can't kill her.
Yeah. She's very upset.
Oh, that's the Teemo, but yeah, Teemo's
Yeah.
teaming.
I don't know.
It's okay.
He's very fucking pissed. It's alright. If you were wondering. Did I even do this? Yeah.
You have your
It
red.
drags.
You have your form, and Merc treads.
Oh, I do have my farm. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I was getting tilted.
you're good. You're
Reading
good.
fucking shit.
That's all
So I
right. We got
muted
a,
off.
yeah, we got a lot to go over
We
here.
got a
It's
lot to
fine.
talk about. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine. That's good. It's better than if you just piss stomp. Then I wouldn't be able to teach you anything. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to teach you much.
This is how most of my Kane games have gone in ranked lately. I just make so many fucking mistakes early, and I just get behind, and I get stomped for the rest of the game.
That's all right. You're red cane now. 1v9, right?
Yeah. It feels like even when I get Ross when I'm behind like this, unless I've just been farming up like crazy, I still just get shit stomped.
Yeah, I don't play Kane much anymore. I'm not very good at him. Not like I used to be.
Yeah.
He's gonna be super OP though with these new durability changes.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Red
yeah. I
King's
was
gonna be
thinking about that.
disgusting.
Ross especially, yeah.
Anything with sustained damage is gonna be crazy.
Yep. Yeah, dude. They're just Mhm. They're coming up. Yeah, I do. I was too deep when they were all mid.
That's
Oh
alright.
well. I'm just fucking inting at this point.
Fine, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Look bot, look bot. You should always look at fights, right? That way you can see things like summoners, because your team's not gonna ping every summoner.
Yeah.
They're not fucking, or JJ. They're not gonna ping every summoner. So you have to try to keep an account for yourself. Things like ults.
I don't know if I don't think I can fight
No, I
her.
don't think you can.
Uh-uh. Mhm. He just gets this, right? Yeah. Shove the next wave that comes down.
I mean, how do you come back, right?
How do you come back?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
How do you? Well, I'm asking.
um
How do you? I mean, what will like? Because you can come back. I mean, like, what's the
yeah,
most likely
game's not
scenario?
completely lost.
Like, like,
Most
how
likely
do you
scenario?
guys like? You just run mid in group 5? Like, you try to? I mean, like,
Uh
what do you do? What do you think?
Farm up, honestly. Farm up.
Uh,
Try not to engage too many fights.
I mean, do you think they're gonna let you farm up though? Right?
Yeah, that's the question. Probably not. Man.
There's a ward there. I don't think she sees it. You might want to ping her
Yeah.
back.
I don't
But yeah,
know.
you
Yeah.
guys might be dead here. I mean, this looks like
Yeah.
a not bad chance that you guys might have a nice turn, or maybe help the Garen, right? There you
If we
go.
can get a turn, yeah.
Kai'Sa's not there. I mean, this isn't about you. This. You should look for this.
Yeah. Oh, my fucking gourd drinker wasn't back up yet.
Nice try. Nice try.
I think no. Surrendering
I
it.
mean, you're not gonna win by having you're not gonna win full on fights.
Yeah.
They're probably not just gonna let you farm.
Yeah.
You have to look for like vulnerabilities and weaknesses, right? Like Malphite, like that, right? You fucked up and was pushing too far bot. You kill him. Maybe you
Garen
can
killed him.
turn.
We turn on the fight.
Maybe
5v4.
you get sweeper, some control words. You try to make a pick with Leona in a bush or something, or you use Teemo's stealth to your advantage. You gotta look for like, and you gotta tell your team too, right? Like you gotta try to. And they're
Yeah.
probably not gonna listen to you because they're flaming you this game, but I
Things
mean,
are huge. Yeah.
you gotta, like, you gotta try to think of ways. Ooh, you got her. Nice. There you go. There
At
you
least
go.
he
And
died.
guess, look what's up. Look what's up. Ping your team. Right? Baron's up. Kill that Malphite.
Yeah.
Ping your team right now. Ping your team. Ping Garen. Yeah. They're taking Dragon right now. Keep pinging Garen. Yeah, there you go. You guys can do this quickly. You might lose. I mean, you might not be able to. You might. I mean, but this is their best way to come back, right?
Yeah.
This is risky,
Things
but
are
like
huge.
if you were ahead, this would be a dumb play. But you're fucking stupid behind, so you have to like find some way to come back.
This is better.
Garen's fighting off Kindred, so you can just make sure you dodge the Kai'Sa damage. There you go. Turn it, turn it, turn it, turn it. Kindred's dead. There you go, there you go. Now what else can you do? You just killed 3 of them. Right?
Yep.
Tell your team keep pushing, keep pushing.
Yep. Keep pushing.
Just get a turret and then back probably because you're low. Cassiopeia's up. Just get that and then back off. Make sure you ping them back. Make sure
Off.
ping them back. Ping them back. Yeah, you gotta ping them back. There you go.
Should I go down and try to get more?
Yeah, get your camps. Get your
in my
camps.
jungle. Yeah.
And then reset.
And then reset.
Now you guys might win a 5v5. You got shutdowns, objective bounties. Oh wait. Do you see her? Look at that. There's possibly a pig. Maybe. Just be careful. Yeah, I don't think so. Leona's going in. You gotta go. It's okay. You got it. Maybe.
No, I get.
It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. You killed her.
Jin. Thankfully.
Maybe ping them back though. Maybe. I think they got it.
Kill this and then ping them back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those other 3 are up, or they can keep pushing. Honestly, 4v3.
Yeah.
Right. But you got to do your best. You got to do your best to assess the situation and like try to take control. Right. If you always let your teammates decide when you should push and when you should back off, then you're never really gonna climb because like you're taking plat. You know what I mean? Like you're taking plat level shot calling and that's gonna keep you plat.
Maybe I should just stop playing Kane in general though, because this is what I was talking about when I was saying there are games that I'm having where it feels like
you should tell your team to back off. Hold on, tell your team they're way too far up. Yeah. I think they're dead. Oh shit. Yeah. Wait, yeah, just go mid then. Go mid. Yeah, you guys can end. If you kill them all, you may be able to end. Get an inhibitor at least. You have Baron. Don't tell your team to back. You should get an inhibitor. Tell them to get an inhibitor. He backed. It's okay. That's what I'm saying though. Plat level shot calling, right? You gotta. It's important that you. It's important that you take control and learn when to push, when to back off, when to because that's like the most important thing. If you were a godlike shot caller, but you had terrible mechanics, and you played like shit, you would still win so many games, and you would climb so much higher than other people because, like, you don't get greedy and back off, right? Like that's all assuming your team listens to you, but Anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot to go over. It feels like feast or famine with me when I play most of the time. It's either I get ahead early and stomp the rest of the game, or this happens.
Yeah.
This might be the first game where I'm getting behind like this, except maybe I think there was another game I played with Kha'Zix or Kane, maybe in my promos actually, where I just got hard carried while feeding the whole time as Kane. I think that was the one Kane game I won actually.
I mean, that's Kane though, right? Sometimes you just scale, right? You just hit that 30 minutes. Doesn't matter if you fed.
Well, and that's what I was saying about blind picking Kane into it, because I feel like
yeah, you should keep that going. Just be careful. Make sure you get your ult off.
I can't. I was silenced. I spammed it, but was I silenced there?
I don't know. That's okay.
I was. I thought I saw silence on me. No. I don't know, man.
You were rooted a little bit.
On that. Yeah. But it was when I was... this is when I was up. Like, I was moving. I don't know. I shouldn't have tried to ult in on the Malphite. I'm gonna move this here.
Gotta watch these fights. See what summoners go down, what summoners are used, because your team's not gonna ping them, and then it's important to know. Garen's got 3 levels on Malphite. He's a big win con for you guys in the side lane or something.
Yeah. Drag's about to come up. They're grouping for it. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not soul, it's fine.
Yeah.
Look Leona though. Yeah. Look Leona, you might need to help her. Don't die though. Don't fight it. Yeah, just throw a W to slow her down or maybe. Oh, there we go. Fight.
Oh, and Jesus should have entered the W there probably, but
If
who
you're gonna
wanted
go
the
in, if you're
vote?
gonna in that situation, we'll go over it. But like in that situation,
I feel like
a
I'm
flash
just
W is probably your best bet, right? Your red cane flash W
yeah,
is one of your best
flash
tools.
W into him,
Flash W when there's 4 people stacked, you're hitting at least like 2, maybe 3.
then ult into
Then you're
somebody because I'm solo
ulting, your team
already.
can follow
Yeah.
up. You have your Q, your gore drinker, your W be
Yeah.
back up. I mean, it's right.
These are things I know. I'm just
I
fucking
think.
turbo hinting for some reason.
I mean, I think your cane,
Uh,
the mechanics just aren't there. I
some
mean,
games yes, some games no, man.
it's
It's
all right.
like
It's okay. Well, there's a couple fights that I'll go over where like we can talk about how you could have played them, like what you could have done to play them
100%
better.
better. Yeah. It's like I said, man. Sometimes it's just feast or famine. I'm super inconsistent. It's why like you'll notice giant gaps and when I do play ranked and when I don't.
Look
Like
at that fat
those
wave bot
games.
lane, bro. And
Oh
also, is
yeah,
your team doing Baron? And you're taking
they
red.
are. Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay. You gotta stay
I'm
focused on
I'm
this. We'll
out of
go
my
over it. We'll
I'm
go
out of
over
my
it.
head. Yeah.
Gen with R means something you can certainly win. Uh, I team to back. You should just back. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
The reason you're not going cleaver?
I was just gonna go the Spirit Visage because of how huge the fucking cast is. Get it early.
Look at look at items though. Look at items real quick. Look, press tab.
Yeah.
Cass has got Zonia's. There's a Malphite. There's a Taric with a lot of armor. I mean, you have
Probably.
Jin, Garen. I mean, cleaver's not bad, right? Gonna give you more damage.
Yeah. I was just looking for more survivability. Uh,
I think that's just game.
yeah. Yeah. Wow.
All right, dude.
This is bound to happen, but it's like I was saying,
We got stuff to go over. It's all right.
so much. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead. Why not? Yeah. Talk about it. Maybe I play a Kazakhs game next. See how much different that goes if I continue turbo inting.
Alright. Alright, let me pull up let me pull it up now. And I'll share my screen.
Mm-mm. Oh, you want to know another reason why I've been climbing so fast?
Huh.
This. Look at my fucking LP gain and loss.
Well, that's because you have such a high win rate, bro.
It's like this every season, though.
Oh shit. You need to play more games, man. You don't play very many games. If you want to get better, you gotta play more games.
I know.
The number one thing.
Yeah, just grind.
Well, you don't have to grind, but you gotta play more than 21 games in 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
You know, game a day or something, like at least on pace or something like that if you want to eat the bare minimum for improvement.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Right.
I've also been getting queued up a lot against fucking diamonds.
Yeah, because you're that's what I'm saying, man.
Hmm. This
like
also.
you're a diamond. Like your win rate and your stuff. Like you're either playing in Smurf queue, bro. Like you're definitely playing in Smurf queue. In that last game,
No, yeah, yeah, yeah. This has happened literally every
that's what I'm
season.
saying. You're destroying, at least in your non-king games and your Kha'Zix and Hecarim game, you're destroying diamond players. You know what I mean? Like you're not like so
It's literally every fucking season this happens,
you just need
and
to play
that's
more
why I don't
games,
play a
man.
lot of games because I
You're
get
gonna
into
have a
these games.
50% win rate. Like that's how it works. You're gonna have a 51, 52, 53, 54, 55% win rate.
Yeah, I'm
It's
also dueling with friends a lot of the time too.
all right. So let's go over this.
I, yeah,
Okay. All right. So first of all, just before we do anything, I wasn't really looking in Gem Select, just because like I want you to do your own thing. You know what I mean? So because if I just tell you everything, then like you're not playing you. You know. I think Blue King would have been better this game, right? Because they have Cassiopeia, which if you're playing Red King, you're just gonna get kited. You know what I mean? Like she's gonna
yeah,
build the Rylas, she's gonna have her W. Like you're not fast enough, you're just not gonna get close to her. Blue King allows you to get onto her, right? You go Edge of Night, so she can't ult you, right? Like if you're just coming at her, I mean
yeah,
it's really strong, right? Edge of Night again, great versus Mouth. Edge of Night or Blue King is easier to get in Kindred. It's you don't get kited as hard. You can't be slowed, etc. You can one shot them, right? Um, Red Kane's not bad versus Taric, but I don't think it's like Kane in general is just pretty good versus Taric because you can kind of wait out his ult. But the nice thing about Blue Kane is you can do a fuck ton of damage while Taric like in the short period of time while Taric's ult is like channeling, and
yeah.
then so you can a lot of times just kill somebody. So I think Blue Kane would have been better this game. If you look at factors like that, like they do have a Malphite, sure, and like a tanky support, but I mean, like the primary targets on their team, like you're gonna Blue Cane has a much easier time against them, as well as you already have like the Garen and the Leona front line. A little backline damage wouldn't be bad. Um, but why did you choose like bot lane to start?
Why did I choose to start bot lane?
Yeah,
Because if I can get the leash on red there, it just helps my clear faster. If we had started on like red side, for example, I probably would have done a wrap start solo instead and cleared that way. But
like if you do
yeah,
this clear, right? I mean, what are you like? What are you just trying to clear and then recall? And
uh, clear the
what
turn
are you
king,
what are you
maybe
doing like?
reset if there's nothing else I can find.
Because for the most part, if you do this clear, right, there's
Mhm.
not really like a lot you can do top lane, right? Like this, it's Garen versus Malphite. I mean,
Yeah.
Garen or Malphite presses Q and runs away. You usually don't have CC, right? And even then, it's like tank. Like ganking that. Spending a lot of time ganking a tank is like eh. But bot lane, you have Jin W, you have
Probably.
Leona,
Yeah,
um, you have a Taric who's probably gonna be pretty aggressive, right? I mean, it's just that for me seems unless your goal is to right maybe you full clear like this and then immediately reset after crab, right?
hmm
But again, you kind of have the same you have to think too, right? Like cuz like did you take Kindred into account for this?
for the clear,
Yeah.
depends on how you mean took her into account. I really didn't consider her
Like did you think
because
she
I
was going to
didn't think
invade?
she could get
Like
invaded. Yeah, I didn't think she was going to,
why?
which is, I mean,
Like
her level one, or not her level one, but her early is stronger than mine, isn't it?
Kindred is if there's ever a champion that will invade, it is Kindred. Like level 2 and
Yeah,
level 3. Ever if there's ever a champion, it's Kindred. So I don't know what this guy did. I don't know if he fucking full cleared or what,
I have
but
no clue.
you a big issue I saw because do you even know where she started?
I would have imagined she'd started blue.
Um,
She started
if she
top
started
side
blue,
generally.
then it was even more dangerous for you to. If you thought she started blue, it's
The
even more
match her
dangerous.
clear.
You did the double clear and you smited to start, and you didn't ward or anything. So like, how easy is it for Kindred to 3 camp? while you take
Yeah.
these, right? She 3 camps, and you smite that, and she just walks over here and kills you, right? Or she walks over here and takes both your camps because you smited them, right?
Right.
Um, and also, was that your first smite you used here, or your second?
On the Gromp,
Yeah.
that was my second.
So you shouldn't smite there because you want to smite the crab, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because that's Kane. That way you can clear the crab with smite Q, and then it's dead. Otherwise, it takes you like 15 seconds to kill a crab.
Yeah.
Um,
I try not
also,
to put too much value into the crab.
I
Like,
mean, but like against Kindred, it's
or
got
at
a lot of
least first
value.
level crab. Yeah.
Against Kindred, it's got a lot of value, and it's not that you're putting a lot of value in it. It's just kind of like, you know,
Kind of want to secure it anyways. Yeah. I
yeah,
was
like,
just. Yeah.
but like you have to also see like not every champion is gonna like full clear. I don't know, like Kindred is especially one of them. Like I think you got extremely lucky that she started red buff. If she started this, uh, and she was like a decent player, then I mean you're just boned, right? She especially because you didn't smite the first buff here, so your clear's a little slower. Um,
That Timo was Diamond 1. Jesus.
it's all right. I mean, so the big issue is just like
See why
you
you're
got to
so
put more thought into it,
frustrated.
right? Because I'm telling because maybe that's your because on Kane too specifically, you're talking about how you get behind early. Like I mean, Kane is
Yes.
one of the vulnerable jungles that people love to invade, right?
Yes.
So, right, let's imagine that you don't smite here, right? She starts here,
Hmm.
right? She takes the blue, takes the Gromp, right? She's taking it, walking top, right? She takes the red. All right, you're taking race, and now you're walking over here. And now she's crossing over to the jungle, right?
Okay.
You're taking wolves. She's sitting here, right?
Hmm.
You do this. She walks over the wall, right? You're dead. Or you have to flash, right?
Right.
Now, if you start here, right?
Hmm.
And also, here's the thing, right? If you thought she started blue, right? You don't want to path into her because I mean, do you want to fight her over this crab? Probably not,
Not,
right?
not particularly, no.
So you're just capping your clear, right? You're kind of saying, all right, well, I'm just gonna give the crab up. So you're gonna recall here after you take these. You're gonna walk bot, and you either immediately gank or you have to sit there for like 20 seconds while you wait for your camp to respawn, right?
Yeah.
So it's just inefficient. So in this situation, right, if you start here, now maybe that's why she started red because she thought you were doing that, but it looks like she's full clearing. So I don't know.
This is where I fucked up later, assuming she'd be bot side as well.
Yeah, because you
Because
thought
I
she started
thought,
blue,
yeah, because I thought she started
but I
blue.
figured because she didn't invade you and she didn't fight you over this crab,
You
you
assume she
can
started
say for
bot.
you can say for 100% that she started red and that she cleared from top to bot.
Yeah.
Now, so you wait like this is just something. Also, let me go back here. Let me go back because Timo was pinging you, right? And you're like,
Yes.
I don't know if I should do this, right? I don't know if I should do this, but I mean, it's likely she could have an early ward down, right? And that's why
Oh,
she might be playing that aggressive. But at the same time, you have to see in like plat and like low diamond elo, there are a lot of players, especially ones who will play these like early game like bullies like this. They'll play Yasuo too. They just will completely disrespect any like type of jungle because you can see this. She doesn't have any wards, right?
yeah.
If you take this and then you walk over here and you just eat through the wall, I mean, you're probably blowing her flash, right?
Right. At
Timo,
least.
yeah, Timo's got a lot of damage. I mean, these are plays you got to look for, especially as Kane, right? And this is also something you do need to be careful though, because there's the opposite side of the coin where possible she's playing like this because Kindred's lurking, right?
Right.
Kindred's waiting.
And I'm not trying to argue. I just want to explain what was going through my head and why I didn't go in on it.
Uh huh.
It was because of how much health she had, and I guess I undervalued how much damage Timo could do in such a short amount of time.
Also, you have red
Um,
buff and you have your Q, right?
yeah.
If you get behind her, then she either has to like blow flash immediately,
Or she just
or
dies.
or not necessarily she just dies, but she has to blow flash immediately to avoid taking a shit ton of damage, or she has to take a shit ton of damage and then flash away. But she might just die too, depending on how she plays it and how Timo plays it.
Right.
I mean, she does end up dying, but I mean, this is a really, if when you're playing full clear champions like this, really good opportunities, like when you do this clear like this, where you go red, golem, wraiths, is always assess if mid's gankable, right? Because a lot of the times you'll see situations like this where mid is gankable, but you'll just kind of like, you know, go through the
Completely
motions and
gloss over it.
yeah,
Yeah.
you'll go through the motions and clear your camps like this. Because I mean, honestly though, it's just like walking, instead of walking left, you're walking right. Like it doesn't shave much time. Like you go over here, right? You go for the gank, she flashes away, you know, or she, you know, gets away and it wasn't successful. All right, you just, you know, walk over and take your camps just like you normally would, right? You're just a couple seconds behind. Um, Especially if you think, again, if you think Kindred started blue, this is wonderful because it's extremely unlikely if Kindred starts blue that she's going to right, she would have to be on this side, right? She'd be over here and she wouldn't have red, right? So it's very unlikely if Kindred starts blue, her plan is probably blue, romp, red, invade, right?
Mm,
That's probably her path if she starts blue. Because or she full clears these and then goes to and takes red, because I mean she's not gonna full right, she's not gonna full clear her camps and then gank Malphite, you know what I mean?
right.
So the only reason she would start blue is if she was looking to invade you.
Right.
Assuming she's not just like mindlessly getting a bot leash for the leash or something. um I mean, it's a lot of time to go over like a start, but it's really important that you know where the enemy jungle started.
Yeah. Which I try to think about it, but clearly I just misjudged what
I
she was
mean,
going to do.
most of the time you can notice, like you can tell off the lanes, like let's say, you know, their laner, the top laner pops out of this bush, like obviously, and their bot lane was late, obviously they probably started here, right? They could have,
Mm,
she could have soloed here and they could have fake leashed. But again, you can look at mana is a good one too, because the amount of people, like a lot of people will fake leash, but they won't fake use an ability, you know, like you're not going to see a Jhin like use his Q on a Gromp, right? And then just a fake. So like
right.
if you look and you see that mana's missing, when they walk to lane, you can almost assuredly see that they started there. And another thing you can do, it's harder on Kayn. Like when I play Elise though, um, you know, I'll go here and I'll throw a W, right, to make sure there's nobody there, and then I'll just ward over the ball here, right?
Right.
You could do the same thing here, right? You could walk here, you could walk up here, and just throw a little ward right here, right? It's pretty safe to do this path here. It's unlikely they're just camping in this bush. You can throw a little ward there, and then you can know for sure where they started. Um, because that affects everything, right? Because if you start here, and let's say we had a ward, and we know that Kindred starts blue here, how does that change? How does that? And let's assume that she starts blue, and we know that there's like a 90% chance, right, that she's gonna go blue, Gromp, red, invade your top side. What do you do knowing that? Like, in your opinion, what would you do if you knew that? Like, if you saw, we know she starts blue, we think that's the path she's gonna take. How would you play around that?
If I think she's going to be invading my top side,
Mm-hmm. You think she's gonna three
playing
camp and invade your top side? What would you do?
playing with randoms, probably. Timo doesn't have prio there. Garen's back. Going up that way, I feel like I'd have to try and fight, but give up the camps. Maybe if Timo can come up, I don't know. I'll have a
So,
ward to drop. I can't try and
alternatively to just pathing there and just giving it up, why
ganking
not?
instead.
Well, it's possible, but like again, you're gonna be level 2, and this is where you have to make the decision, right? You've already started red. You can't. You see her there. She pops in late. Like you're like, fuck. Okay.
Sure.
What about just going red and going straight to your blue, taking your Gromp,
Taking
and then
what's important
padding
and then going back
padding
down.
back down, and then
Yeah.
ganking bot lane, right? You could do something like that.
Instead of getting stuck in a static clear mindset.
Because then, guess what happens to Kindred, right? Because she's not gonna have wards here. She's not gonna have wards here. She's not gonna know you did that. Guess what she's gonna do? Camp, camp. She's walking to take the red, right? You're taking the blue. She finishes the red. You're taking the Gromp. She walks in here, right? Probably as you're finishing the Gromp or you just finished the Gromp, right? You get it. You go down here, you take wolves, and she's like, well, fuck. Now she's got nothing to do, right? Now she's like
Waste of time.
extremely behind on tempo. You've cleared 3 camps. She's cleared 3 camps. But she's in the wrong jungle. She has to walk all the way back, or she has to force a gank top, right? If he's pushed or mid or whatever. She has to walk all the way back, and meanwhile, you're just efficiently clearing, right?
Right.
And then you path into a bot gank, and she can't make it there unless she goes from here all the way back to these camps and goes straight bot. She can't make it down there in time, right? So
Right.
now you have, not only have you put her behind, but you have an uncontested bot gank that can't be countered if they push.
Right.
So that's something you could do. But because I didn't know where she started because we didn't have a ward. But number one goal you should try to do is safely get a ward on a buff.
Yeah, well, and that's why I tried to walk up initially at the beginning. Like usually, what I'll do is I'll walk as far as they'll let me. 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
If I can get a ward on the buff, I will, and then I'll back and grab my sweeper.
Yeah, I mean that's what you should. Yeah, if you can do that, great. If you can't, one in the river's fine. Or just not even using your ward in your case as Kane and using it defensively, right? Like when you're, like instead of going to blue here, go to Gromp. It's a little safer than taking blue. You're more exposed here. Take the Gromp, ward on this bush right here, and then you can see her and you can retreat or have your team collapse. Instead, because you were with the sweeper, you were blind, right? You were dueling camps because of Kindred where you didn't know where she started. With a sweeper, right? So, now if we know she started red, I think this path was fine. She could level 2 invade your shit, but she would just steal it, right? She could like vertical your stuff, but and that's another thing, right? If you don't, that's another thing. I mean, that's the trickiness, right? Right? Because if she starts here, she could just go and level 2 invade your shit. If you don't have a word there, right? You might need a vertical. I mean, it's tough, right? And that's the difficulty when you're playing something like Kane. You need to put more thought into where you start and how you path, other than I wanted a fat leash for an efficient clear.
Yeah.
So I know that was a lot to go over for just like where to start, but I mean, I hope that's
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot to talk about there. I mean, yeah, it's just bad.
It's a lot of theory, but that's a lot of what jungle is just like game theory. It's like I think this guy's gonna do this, so how can I counter that, right? And then you have to figure out, is your opponent just, is he just fucking playing Kindred in full clearing, or is he gonna like use Kindred properly? That's why I ban Kindred a lot, because man, that champ is too much. But
you got to kind of just try and think 2 to 3 steps ahead of them and gap them as hard as you can, so that they're
exactly.
more useless than you are.
Exactly. And one thing that I'd never really used clears, like the one I was talking about where you see she starts blue, you're starting red, where you go red to buff here and then pad back. I never really did clears like that until actually like 3 days ago. I saw that I was playing against this Diana and I knew she started blue buff. Like I knew she started blue buff. But when I went to Invader, or I don't know. I don't remember exactly, but I know that all I know is I walked into the jungle, and it was like her blue was down, but her wolves and her Gromp were up, and I was just like, what the I was like, what the fuck? Like it was just like it didn't make any sense to me, right? Like it didn't make sense if she started top, didn't make sense if she started bot. Like either way, I was like perplexed, and I was like, she's playing Diana, but her blue's gone. She didn't full clear. Was she like 3 camping? Like what the hell's going on? And then when I was taking her Gromp, she appeared from here, and then ended up having her team collapse on me and killed me, right? And I was just mind blown. I was like, I don't understand what her clear was, right? And what she did was, because I was playing something like Elise or Kindred, right? And what she did was she did the blue, and then she padded up for the red, and then went wraiths, and then went wolves, and then caught me at Gromp. And I think my path was like 3 camp into invade, and so I mean that's what I'm saying. Like her defensive path like that ended up countering exactly what I was planning to do, right? She probably thought I was going to invade here, but either way, right? She ended up being able to collapse on me and kill me because it was so unpredictable, the path was. And so
Right.
that's like a big advantage, right? Like, because again, let's say you do that path, right? And let's say she started red though, right? Let's say you did that path. Same thing. You were kind of afraid of a level 2 here, so you do this, you do this. She passed down, she invades. You come back to kill your camps. You know, see her there, boom, your team can collapse. You kill her, right? Like it's just because she's never gonna think that. Like that's like a higher level clear that when you're playing something defensive, and you can even use it when you're playing Kha'Zix, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can even use that clear, and it can be really efficient for throwing people off, like the invade and the aggressive junglers. All right, let's go on. And by the way, I always smite first buff. I mean,
Always.
yeah, always. Unless I get a fat fucking leash where this is dead before the Gromp even spawns, I always smite first. It increases your clear speed by like 2 or 3 seconds minimum. I always smite it, especially when you're running a champion with you have that one rune, the Cosmic Insight, 20% CDR on spells.
Mm-hmm.
Summoner spells, yeah. I mean, because your second smite up, it's up so fast. So unless I'm expecting somebody to invade me level 2, I always smite first buff just to increase clear speed. So I think most people do, but maybe there might be some that don't.
Okay.
Especially when you have like if you're doing like a no leash or something, you definitely should. All right, so we went over most of the early game stuff I wanted to talk about.
There's so much bad decision making.
And this is another situation where, Kindred's not really gonna like. We've already gone over her starting, blah blah blah, but like, Kindred doesn't usually full clear. So, you look at your top lane priority, right? When you walk into this river, you need to be like spamming. Like even before you walk into the river, you need to be like spamming, like like kind of like 2 or 3 pings, like help, because if Kindred's in this bush or something, if you're not pinging Garen ahead of time, by the time he reacts, you're probably dead, right? So when you have priority like this, you need to use it, right? You can't rely like your teammate, unless your teammate is smurfing, he's not going to know that he needs to come to you ahead of time, right? He's gonna come maybe if he sees somebody, but like preemptively, probably not, right? And so
Right.
when you do things like that, you need to be like ready to ping your team, right? Like you can see Timo, right? Timo's a good example. I think Timo's pings were pretty good. Like I'm not surprised. You said he was D1. I mean,
Yeah, he's
I
the one.
I'm not surprised because he was doing a lot of preempting pinging, right? Like
I
he
think that's
would
why he was so pissed at me too, is because he was expecting me to do things
to
that.
respond, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Timo knew, right? He could see based on the way he was, and based on how Cassiopeia was playing, that like like, hey, get ready to come here because it's gonna be, this is a play that's doable. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, and so preemptive pinging is like something that you really need to take advantage of. And then this is a part where you could help him, right? Like when you're recalling here, you don't need to be looking at your champion, right?
I should be looking at the lane. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can see this the way Cassiopeia is posturing, right? And then right as soon as you see this,
I
as
should be
soon as you
coming
see this, you
down.
need to be canceling, right? 4:15, right? I'll give you a realistic amount of time, right? You see that, right? You would respond about a second and a half late, right? Now in this situation, you probably, if you reacted perfect, you probably can't kill her, but maybe she chases maybe she chases all the way, you know what I mean? Or maybe she chases a little farther and just in time for you to come, right? But that's kind of like a situation where you did react late, and I think I did have I think I was yelling at you to look,
Go.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then here comes Kindred, right?
Should still be looking, and I wasn't.
And here's okay. This is a good example of a play. So back a little bit. I mean, when you're playing, just any champion basically, if you can get an auto attack off before you use your ability, you should, because it doesn't cost anything, because you can do the
Right.
auto attack and then you can animation cancel with like your ability. If you need to queue the gap close, that's different. But like right here, right? you're basically in melee range. You can, like, there's no reason you can't auto attack, right?
Right.
And that does an extra, I don't know, what's your AD? 89, so probably
Mm.
like 60 damage. And then a Q. And also, you can auto attack, and then she's gonna run past you, and you can like Q into her. You know what I mean? Rather than just queuing into her and through her, and now she's flashed, right? And
I
now,
could have used you
and
right
now
there.
you can't catch up to her, right? So, which is fine, but look at Kindred's HP, right? Yours, and then look at these two. And so, if you just turn on Kindred here,
What about if I had come out of the wall, autoed when she flashed, then I flash Q on her, try and kill her, and then
yeah,
turn on the
absolutely.
Kindred?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like, you could have played this. There's many ways. Because here's the thing. Like, personally, if this is how I probably would have played it, right? I would have E through the wall. I would have auto attacked and then queued this way, right? I would have queued like because she was obviously running and chasing, so I would have queued, you know, as she was running away. I would have queued past her, and with her flash, I probably would have missed the second part of the queue, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would get the first one through her, and then she would probably flash the second part of the queue. But then you're here, right? And she's here. And so now you can just, you know, flash auto, right? And then W, or you can just press W and then flash auto Q, you know, something like that. But since you just leave with a Q and you Q past her and through her, you know, now she's just kind of out of range, right?
Right.
And then at this point, you know, you either need to flash W, which you just W, right? But you either need to flash W and continue to chase her, or you need to turn on Kindred.
Yeah.
Because now you just, you know, now you're just tunneled on her and you're dead, right? The second
Right.
you run towards her like this and you waste your W, you're dead. But that was, yeah, that was something that I saw a lot though, was what you did with your Q. I saw you initiate a lot of fights where you're basically in melee range and you just like Q through them instead of like leading with an auto attack or something like that.
I had autoed, she flashed.
Yeah, I think she even flashed the second part of the Q there too.
Yeah.
Um,
Then I could have flash queued on her instead.
yeah, you just held your flash
She
there
would have
too
just been
long.
dead. Yeah.
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 I don't know if you could have killed them both, but you definitely would have killed Cass.
I probably could.
You probably could have killed both. You probably could have killed both,
Yeah.
but you definitely would have killed Cass and live, or you would have double killed.
Yeah.
No reason you
Because
needed
I've
to die
played
there.
fights like that. I've played fights like that before, exactly the way that I mentioned, where I would have flash queued on her instead and then turned on the Kindred. But I usually get the double kill off that, but
Yeah.
it's one of those decision things where I popped Q first on her out of the wall when I shouldn't have.
Yep. And it's something you can apply with Hecarim too, right? Instead of queuing somebody, if you're in melee range, auto queue, right? You auto queue,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's the same type of thing. Or if you're playing Kha'Zix, auto W, right? Instead of just
Right.
Wing or auto Q W or auto W, you know, auto Q, whatever. You get my point. Or even auto E too.
It's even more important on Kha'Zix because you get the isolation damage from your autos.
Yep. All right. So next. Oh yeah, and then here is where we made the assessment, right? Or I asked you, what's Kindred doing, right? After you died, what's Kindred doing, and you know, after you thought about it, right? Because you were thinking about it, you're like, oh, I need to go there because she's gonna take it, but like,
Right.
I mean, if you assess the time you're dead, she has plenty of time to take this and get away before you can even remotely make it close to her. So if you think she's doing that, then you have to think to yourself, you know, what's she gonna do next, right? She's obviously gonna do that. What is she gonna do next? And what should I do in response, right? Me personally, I would path down, right? Because you know this is gone, but this won't be gone. You path here, but also look at your bot lane, right? If I like think about it, right? If you're Kindred and you see this, oh, you're going bot lane, right?
Yeah.
And you got bailed out by me talking to you and this word. If this word wasn't there and I wasn't in your ear telling you this, you wouldn't. I mean, would you have registered that she was going to go bot lane?
Probably not.
Probably not. You would have gone here.
I was extremely tunneled.
Yeah, and because you know we have this word and we see that, we're able to trade 1-for-1 here, but it would have been a clean 2-for-0. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your bot lane would both be dead. So, but you're able to come here and trade. See how you play this too, right? You go for the him, which is fine. Yeah, that's fine. It's probably greedy to go for Taric there.
Yeah.
And then clean Kindred. But yeah, so I mean that's like a really like it's about looking forward, right, and being 2 or 3 steps ahead, right. In this case, you're just you know you're behind, right. You're seeing
Right.
this, but she's ahead of you. She's already got it. If you had padded immediately to here, you could have actually probably been here the second the the gank happened, and you could have countered, and nobody would have died. Hell, and maybe you're here, right? Maybe you guys double kill or triple kill or something. Who knows, right? If you were a little quicker and more had more foresight there. And then same situation. What does Kindred do after she dies, right? Probably not gonna go back bot, right? She's probably gonna go to the side where her camps are gonna respawn,
Right.
right? And look at this, right? So we think, she's gonna be top side, and she's Kindred. She likes her mark. Well, she's gonna be top side, and then we see our top laner pushing on turret, so we want to ping that, ping that off ahead of time, right? Because again, in a perfect scenario, your mid laner is Bjergsen. He's tracking the enemy jungle. Your top laner is fucking Impact. He's tracking the enemy jungler. But like realistically,
This guy's probably just as tunneled as I am, and I need to do
realistically,
it
most
for him.
challenger players like laners don't track the jungler, right? I mean, even like fucking master junglers don't track enemy jungler very well. So, like, he's not gonna know that she's here, right? He might be like, "This is risky. I'm pushed up," but like, he's gonna be like, "I'm gonna take the risk. She might not be here, but you know, she is there because it only makes sense for her to be there based on her pathing, and it's something that you could have maybe saved him if you,
Pinged him off, or...
yeah, because you gotta be your teams. Like that's the thing, right? Your teammates are gonna play like your elo, but if you are the eyes and you're the ears for your teammates, I mean, they're suddenly better players, right? Like I know there are some coin flip players that are like goddamn in a 1v1. I mean, you can't get any better, right? They got like a 1.4 KDA though, because they don't play around the jungler, and so if they get ganked, they feed. But if they don't get ganked, they 1v9, right? And so if you can be their eyes and like, be like, hey, warn them when a gank's coming, be like, hey, back off, then suddenly they're like a fucking challenger player in a plat game,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, in this situation, you probably can't. Like, if you see her take this, right, you don't have a top laner. I know you go up here because you want to defend this, but it's kind of goes back to like this situation where you've got to keep that internal clock, it's like, do I, like, I know she's headed there, will I beat her there, right? And if the answer is no, you won't beat her there, what could you be doing with your time, right? Like, you see her doing this, right? You see they just killed Garen. I mean, there's no Garen, right? What do you think she's gonna do?
She's gonna go straight for the grump.
And in this situation, you're taking this, right?
Yeah.
Are those alive? Those are dead. So you should do one of two things, right? Either A, ping your teamo, be like, he's gonna go for that. Come on, let's defend it. And then he would have to abandon his way, but it's pushing, so it's not a big deal. Or, right, take dragon.
Go for drag. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Do you take wolves even, or do you just go straight there?
I'm going for wolves.
Oh no. Okay, yeah. See. Yeah.
Well, I figured I couldn't fight her, so I was just gonna give it up because I knew she was there already.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm 2 levels down on her.
But that's the thing, right? What's stopping her from just going straight to your wolves and then this? Like, if you think she's gonna be there and you can't fight her, why do you want to get so close to her? I would want to stay as far away as I can. You could go for this, or you should have pinged Teemo. I think this was just the worst decision of the three options. Yeah. Or even if this was a better opportunity, you could look to gank, right?
Right.
When you're behind like this, the best thing you can do is stay away from her and make things happen on the other side of the map. If she's top, you want to be bot. You want to be bot doing something else.
Yeah.
And then when you recall, I mean, I'll sell. Bro, I usually sell pot for like a long sword. I might be in the minority, but you had gold to sell your pot for a long sword. Do you not Like, do you think it's more valuable?
Depends. If I think I can get an item with it, but like longsword, I don't usually think about
You don't sell it for
something
that?
small like that. No, I probably should, but I just don't think about it now.
I mean,
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
I mean, this is about 350, 125 HP is like what, 300 gold, something like that.
Yeah.
350. So I mean, a fight's not gonna last 12 seconds. So realistically, this is like less value than a longsword in a fight. Plus, you don't need to sustain at this point because you have healing, and that 10 extra 80 will make your clear faster. So in my opinion, if you can sell a refillable, like when you're like level 5 or 6 for a longsword, I would do it. Um, I
Yeah.
think you ended up selling it like 20-25 minutes, which is like,
Yes, I'm super late.
yeah, like
Super late.
I personally would be selling that way earlier than I don't know if you do that every game, but like I personally would sell it for a longsword at this stage of the game. I think the vast majority of people would too, unless they need the sustain, which most people don't at this point.
Hmm.
Um, this is another. You should probably have just gone straight here. Although you see that word, then maybe you should ping her off. I didn't like. That's why another reason I'm kind of constantly saying you got to like be assessing, especially when something like this is happening. Because if you're watching her move up, you know, and you're looking at the minimap, you can see that word there. I would ping her back. Personally. Or I would have gone straight there, right? I think you guys end up losing this. Yeah. But if you had gone there immediately, you would have been there to kill her, right? Instead of just stopping to auto attack this a few times.
Hmm.
So I mean, you know, you gotta. Again, it's like another point where you got to you got to be a little more. I know, and I know when you're, you know, when you're somebody's watching you and you're doing that, it's like harder to stay focused and everything. But do you have flash here?
Did I not get this kill?
No, you didn't get this kill.
Yeah. Oh man, the pain.
No, but that's another thing. It's like there's a direct correlation between people, like somebody's the speed at which they react to a play and the speed at which they rotate and their elo increasing, right? The faster you are to react, like the much higher you go. Like even if it's a bad rotate, like, or it's like not a for sure one, you still need to like, you need to either A, rotate immediately, or you need to B, not rotate at all and ping your team back or tell them you're not rotating, which in this case, right, you didn't ping them off when you saw the word, right? Because that lets them know that you shouldn't be there. Or when Leona was roaming up, you should have just been pathing straight to her instead of stopping at the red, right?
Right.
Because it's okay to forego farm like that when you're getting something else out of it. Because guess what? Kindred rotated, but she rotated a little faster, and that led to them winning the fight, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Also, I already talked about this before, but I mean, it's like another thing where if we look at the heat map of where Cass is, you know, it's like blood red right here, right? She's constantly pushing up, constantly applying pressure on the Teemo right there. One, because she knows that she wins 1v1 versus Teemo. And so, you know, these are people that are abusable. Even though, like, you're playing Kayn, who's supposedly weak early, I think Kayn's got, like, actually really good against people who play like this because, you know, if you approach from here, I mean, right, by the time they react, you're just on them.
Yeah.
If you're Hecarim, right, same thing, you ghost, they're just dead. Like, this is just such a dangerous spot to be in.
Any of the champs I play, honestly, like
Mhm.
even Kha'Zix, she's just dead. But
This,
I have a bad habit of when I'm playing Kayn, underestimating and not taking plays that I should early.
yeah. I mean that's the thing, right? Kayn is weak early, but at the same time, I mean he's strong, right? He's got really good gank angles. But like you can see, like look at this fucking guy. Like where's his jungle? Like if a lot of the times good players will really only play like this when they know that they can't be ganked, or B, their jungle is right there. But this guy just plays like it 24/7. I mean he's abusing Teemo, right?
Because I was letting him. Yeah.
He is abusing Teemo, right? He doesn't know where the fucking support is when he's playing like that. He doesn't know where the jungle is. You could be right here if you path straight there. I mean, he is just Like, this guy is abusable, and you have to take advantage of them. Because if you don't, like, I mean, Teemo's got a right to be pissed, right? Like, if I was Teemo, I'd be kind of pissed if Cassiopeia was getting away with this all game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And so that's the thing, right? But it's just, you got to take advantage of these people. they're just, their ego's off the fucking, it's off the fucking wall. He's dead. Anyway.
Should have probably flashed on that.
Did you have it?
I think.
It says
Do
you
I not
50,
have
no, it
it?
says 55.
No. Okay.
No, you just should have came sooner and it would have been fine, but it's all good. Alright, let's go on. Alright, next point. Go to like 10 minutes. So here, guys die. Now where do we start here? Now when you respawn, I wish I had a drag timer. Where do we go from here? What you go to golems, but why?
Because I assumed she was just going to be taking wolves already because she was still up, and I want to stay away from her at this point.
Well, let's go back 15 seconds so we can see the context.
Yeah.
All right, so we watch her walk into top jungle there. She's killing the ward. Okay, right here you respond. With your E and the home guards, you could make it to wolves before. However, does that mean you want to? I don't know, probably not. But
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. But the point is
this is around the time the game really starts going to shit.
yeah, I mean, you guys, it's pretty close here still. Like your Garen is hard winning, right?
Yeah.
He's hard winning. Your bot lane is hard winning. Your bot lane's got 4 kills. Like your bot lane is winning. Now
Cass is 9 and 4 at this
he's 9
point?
and 4. Yeah, he's popping off. I'm not saying this is necessarily wrong, but I just, you know, like a lot of the times where you choose to go, like where you choose to start is important, right? Especially when there's something like Rift up. Now when she does this, you can probably assume one of two things: either A, she's going to your wolves, or B, she's going to Rift. We know Cass just died. She's dead for 16. Right? Your Leona just spawned. Your Garen's stronger than Malphite. Personally, I would be pinging Leona and Garen to rotate, right? And then go here. Because it's possible she tries to fight you. Leona gets there. Garen rotates. Maybe you can fight him off. And if they don't, I think you guys have objective bounty. Do you know when that turns on? I thought objective bounty was on, but let me see. Does objective bounty start? I don't think they actually tell you. I think it's like a. Yeah, they don't actually. They don't give you the number. But anyway, I personally would have gone here and tried to ping my support to contest, but this isn't necessarily wrong. Going straight here. If you go here though, what's really bad? Like what's dumb if you do this? What's the worst thing you can do?
The worst thing I can do?
Yeah, if you go here and take golems, what's the worst thing you can do if you do this?
Not king bot.
Full clear. Like full clear to top side.
Full clearing is the worst thing I could do.
Full clearing to top side is
exactly what I did.
I think so. I don't remember, but I think
exactly what I did.
This is the worst thing you can do because why? If you think she's taking wolves,
I know she's taking.
She's gonna take the rest of your fucking camps, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you think she's taking Rift, after she takes Rift, what's she gonna do? I mean, she's probably not taking Rift. She's probably going straight to this. If she's smart. So that's the worst thing you can do is full clear. Now you have a 4-1 bot lane. They have a 9-kill mid lane, right? They're ball like what should you probably do, right? Snowball the bot lane.
Snowball the bot lane.
Like if you look at the wave, you can see the wave. The cannon's full HP here. There's 2 people. Like the wave is pushing. Like the red team is pushing. So you take golems here, or hell, you even skip golems and 2v2 them. Because you don't even need Leona. Jin's level 7. Yeah, right there. See, if you skip golems, you go straight bot. That's a double kill. That's a double kill. It's your form, probably. So, yeah, and then, yeah, I mean,
And I was just fighting golems the whole time he was getting
Yeah,
destroyed.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's right. Like, because if you look like, especially if you're thinking like their bot lane is like, oh, it's 2v1. Their Leona's dead. This Jin's close. I have flash. I'm gonna kill him, right? But
Right.
if you're thinking that's what they're thinking, then you're ready. Boom, you kill him. You got it. But and then you end up full clearing because now you can't gank bot. Yeah, I mean that's and look, wait. I think you end up ganking. Do you end up ganking with them? Let's
I
see.
think I do, yeah. With both of them.
Yeah, you took a lot of time to take the golems though, and by the time you finished the golems, it was a little too late though.
Yeah. I should have been up there already.
Yep, and then that smite. That was not a red smite. You know what I mean? That was a blue
Yeah.
smite situation.
Yeah.
It's okay, but yeah. I do that sometimes too. You
Red
just
fights for extended fights, yeah.
well, it's
For
to
sure.
stop burst, or it's to you do it as soon as you auto somebody, right?
Right.
Like I don't even think you ever auto attack the guy, so it doesn't even work. But wait, does red actually hold on? Does red smite
It
trigger
slows a
off?
little
It
bit.
does. Well, no, it doesn't slow any. It doesn't slow
Does it
any.
not?
No, red smite doesn't slow. It only triggers off auto attacks, right?
Does
Oh, just
it?
damaging.
Yeah, just damaging. That's what
I
I
always thought it
thought.
was an auto attack. I didn't know it was just damaging. Okay, well, that's actually nice to know. Wow, I didn't know that. I legitimately always thought it was just. I thought you had to auto attack him. That's fine then. I guess that red smite wasn't terrible, but at the same time, I mean, you're not killing him, right? You're not slowing him. I would just save
Yeah.
the smite. But that's a nuance. The more important thing was taking these are troll,
Yeah.
and then the second time taking him was also troll, or finishing him, taking so long to finish the little ones. You do get this, which is nice. All right. Yeah, and then here's another example of the mechanic part we were talking about. In a second. Watch how you play this fight.
Oh yeah, this was. Oh god, I don't even want to watch it again.
Yeah, this is a little troll, bro.
Oh, that was so bad.
Here. Right? You just Q in and then you Q past them, right? Like why
Yeah.
not auto attack him, right? Do you have red button? You don't have red. Why not auto attack him and then hell even use your Q to like dodge his stun that he may throw out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't think you kill him either way, but it's even with the auto attacks,
We
right?
could have killed Cass if I just
Yeah.
passed better.
And
And then
also, especially when you're running something like Conquer, getting that auto attack off is so important because that gives you an extra 2 stacks, right? It's gonna help you trigger your full stack Conqueror sooner.
yeah.
It's just so important to be when you're in melee range like that to be auto attacking one because you're doing damage still and you're not queuing through them or away from them, and it's you're not putting space between you. You're able to use your Q to stay on them as well as maximizing your damage with that. All right. Okay, same thing. Right? Do we know that Kindred was there? Yes.
Yes.
So she just made a play top. Right? She just made a play, she showed, she takes your camps. Right? And what do we do here? We're running and we're trying to chase a play that's just, we're never going to make that.
Yeah,
So what can we do
definitely.
instead? Right?
Could
What
have
can we...
gone mid right there, killed the
You
Cass.
could already be here if you just ran straight. You could already literally be on top of her if you ran straight to her. But instead we're chasing and trying to make a play happen top lane. Now, we don't kill her. A lot of the things I noticed were just simply
Executed.
you're not paying attention to your surroundings enough. You're not recognizing what's going on, and you're not reacting fast enough, right? Like so much of it is you're not thinking that one step ahead you need to be, right? You're just like, you have the right idea, like you know where Kindred's going, but instead of like going to where you like, instead of countering what Kindred's doing, you're just playing right into it, right? Instead of recognizing she's gonna take this mark, you know, I'm gonna react by diving top lane. Instead, you're like, oh, she's gonna go take this, I should try to stop her, when you can't possibly stop her, right?
Right.
Or it's something's going on and you're not registering, or you're not reacting fast enough. You're just too slow, and then you end up playing catch up and getting yourself fucked.
I got super tunneled and panicked.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right. I mean, that's another thing, right? Like, maybe that's why you have much more success with Kha'Zix. I think, to be honest, I think the reason you have so much more success with Kha'Zix and Hecarim, at least lately, probably because they're just more straightforward.
It hasn't been lately. It's been always, really.
Oh well, they're just much more straightforward. I mean, like with Kayn, you have so many angles and there's so many different, like, there's more mechanics involved with the nuance of the champion. But with Hecarim, it's like something's going on. I have one fucking gajillion movement speed. I'm gonna be there in a flash, right?
Yeah, run at them. Yeah.
Or Kha'Zix, it's like, oh, I'm just going to one shot them because that's what I do, and it doesn't, you know, there's not a lot of things. I just one shot them. Yeah, I mean, it's with Kayn, it's like there's a lot more shit going on there. And he's a lot weaker early game than both of those champs. A lot more vulnerable.
I gank significantly more when I'm playing a champ like Ka or Hecarim.
Yeah, well, your Hecarim CS a minute is disgusting. You have like 8 CS a minute.
Around so fast on him.
Yeah.
That's because I'm just taking waves when I shouldn't be.
Well, you're carrying with it. All right.
Yeah, pissed his teammates off though. My friends are getting really, really mad at me when I play with them lately because I have way too much of a solo queue mindset.
Well, they're just mad that they can't farm like you, bro. Maybe they shouldn't die. Maybe they shouldn't die, and you have to take their wave.
They keep telling me every fucking game that I farm way too much.
I mean,
And
that's
I'm like, that's how I get ahead, right? Like,
I wouldn't listen to them. They want you to win their lane for them. All right. So another thing, ping drag. Yeah, like, okay, Cass died, right? So like, ping dragon on spawn, right? Like, tell your team, hey, dragon. Because if you ping your team on spawn and Garen listens, suddenly you've got 5 people here and they have 4, right? And if they try to defend this dragon, which, you know, dummies will, right? Especially when they're ahead like this, then boom, that's a chance to come back, right? Fight a 5v4, even a 5v3, because Malphite may not be there. Fight a 5v3 and kill him, get the dragon, you're back in the game, you know? But
yeah.
But you gotta be like, that's a big thing, right? That's a big is a minute and a half, right? You should really like start planning how you want to, you know, because for the most part, if you watch high reload games, I mean, when a neutral spawns like dragon, I mean, both teams are there on spawn, right? Unless somebody, like one team is significantly behind, they don't think they can contest it. You typically will see, at least in my games, like everybody's there on spawn. All, you know, except maybe the top laners with TP, everybody's there. Or if somebody's splitting, everybody's there. They're ready to fight. They're ready to contest. You know, it's for good reason. So if you can, you know, be the shepherd and guide your team and have them be ready for that, you're going to be ahead of the enemy, and you're likely going to have numbers, right? Even in the game, but you're behind is a really good way to come back. Is if they're not prepared, they're not, you know, they're not prepared properly for this. Boom, you can if you're leading your team and you're like, hey, let's do this, catch them off guard. It's a really good way to come back in the game. Oops. 16 minutes. I got something else here. Alright, so here. I think it's here. Yeah, this is it. Okay. So they're pushing up pretty far here. Before they're even fighting, I mean, they're pushing up pretty far. You saw their bot laners pushing here. I mean, what do you likely think they're going to do after they finish taking this?
They're gonna go up into my jungle.
Well, yeah, they're probably going to go up to your jungle, but more importantly, they're going to
Go mid.
they're going to kill the people pushing. And
Collapse.
these people aren't paying attention or thinking about that, right? What do you need to be doing, right? You need to be pinging them to back the fuck off 10 seconds ago, or be ready to counter. Personally, I would be pinging them just to back off, but when you see Cass here, I mean, it's, you know, you could be ready to rotate, right? You could have been there a while ago without taking Gromp, right? Imagine you go there ahead of time. You know, you're sitting here chilling. You could take the 3v3, right? Or you could take the fact that they fight here, because a lot of the times your team getting caught is something that you could prevent either by pinging them off or just being there to help them. I mean, in a perfect world, your bot lane's not going to push like this and do this shit, but like, you know, you have to work with what you got.
Yeah.
Right? But if you're there to counter, or if you ping them off 10 seconds ago, you don't really need to worry about them dying, right? And the whole time this is happening, you haven't panned to look at them once, right?
Yeah.
You don't know what abilities, what summoners, whatever's used. And I know you said you were like tilted and tunneled, like I mean, what do you think they're gonna do when they see you here? They're gonna come kill you, you know what I mean?
Right, right.
Yeah. I mean, you take that word, and
I
that's
was
fine, but then you gotta get the fuck out, right? You're
I
like,
was
oh, let's hit
playing-
the plan. Let's, oh.
I was dude. I was playing on pure tilt at this.
I know.
Point.
I get it.
it was. I knew it was a bad idea. I still did it anyways.
I know. I get it. It's just,
at this point.
but you gotta look at fights, right? You gotta assess things, because if they were super fucking low, you don't know. Maybe they were all 1 HP, and you could have came and cleaned them up 1v3. But like, you don't know, because you know you're not looking. You gotta, like, the lock screen's not a big deal, but you know you are a little better about looking at shit, but you gotta get better at looking at shit, you know.
In general, yeah.
Yeah.
Even better.
Or you need to play unlocked and then lock it during a fight or something, right? But you need to look more.
Yeah.
Shut down.
All right, and then there's not too much more. There's 2 more things that we kind of went over in the game, but we'll fast forward to them just to kind of see how much of a difference it's going to make. Because the rest of this is just you guys kind of getting crushed.
More turbo ending.
All right, here's a big one. So this fight's happening. Emo's not there. He's coming though. Everybody's coming. Right here. I don't think you should go over this wall and just engage, right?
Right.
I think I was telling you to, but you shouldn't. Maybe throw a W in the wall and then get out.
Yeah.
She wastes ult, which is big. This is your key where I honestly think you guys should be ready to fight, because she just wasted ult. Leona's pretty low, but I mean, questionable W there, but that's okay. We see Cassiopeia die here.
I think I just walk up and get melted right here.
You do. If you didn't waste your W there, I mean, let's take a look at what can happen here, right?
I could have flash W'd on him right
Look
there.
at that lineup, right?
in that
Flash
line,
3,
yeah.
yep. I mean, Jhin is dead here, but Teemo's full HP. He does a lot of damage. I mean, he's fed. 9 stacks, 3 items. Garen is still full HP. You get a flash W here, Q, Goredrinker, you know, ult. I mean, that's, you know, Garen turns with a Q. Right, you had a nice little play there. But
Yeah.
we're padding the damage stats. We're padding the damage stats here.
Some of these are so hard for me to watch because I know, I even knew when I was doing it in the game that I was just doing stupid shit. But
It's
I
okay.
cut my brain off after like 10 minutes, man.
I mean, I do the same thing. Sometimes you just do shit that you're like, you know, but like, like I want to help. I want to
Now
help.
that we're talking about it, like I'm seeing it with a clearer mind because the game's
Yeah.
over. I'm like,
But I mean, look
yeah.
at the Garen. He's fucking one-shotting. Like, that was all Garen right there. Like, he is ult still. Like, you guys would have hard won that if you had that flash W. So you gotta, you know, like, those are things you gotta look for. I think you're definitely way too conservative with your flash. Your flash is like, especially on Kane, your flash is like you're a really good tool for early game, right? Just getting on somebody and in late game making those big plays. And then the last thing was just Baron. Your team's taking Baron, you're taking red here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're even Jin's pinging your assistance, right? He's pinging for help. Because this is a good Baron.
I'm just fucked off in an entirely different
Yeah,
part
I
of the
mean
map.
I mean this is a huge opportunity missed. Look how like you guys would have had that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all good. I mean that was basically the last one. You just you gotta look for those ways to come back. But I mean that's pretty much it. So did you have like questions?
No, man. It's just a bad game from pretty much from start to finish.
I mean it's alright.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff, you got some mechanical stuff that you work on and don't try to don't try to fix everything, right? Like at once, don't try to focus on everything. But like I'm gonna do like a
I
like
feel like I'm
few bullet
not learning my
points.
lesson, man. Like I need to just give up on Kane and just keep playing Kazakhs and Hecarim.
Yeah.
Until I'm willing to try and clean my mistakes up on him because I don't know. This is every game that I play with him, honestly, lately. Even in normals, like where I'm playing against lower elo people, like I'm still just doing the same shit and turbo inting the majority of the time.
Yeah.
But then I play Kazakhs and I Giga Stomp.
I mean, pretty much everything we went over will apply to other champions and shit as well, right? The
Yeah,
nice thing about something like Kha'Zix is you're pretty vulnerable, so you can use those ideas, but like you also can punish too, right? Like you're playing against Karthus or
yeah.
Shyvana or something, you can definitely use you can use the other side of the coin, right? Like, because I was honestly doing a little Kindred coaching here, right? I don't her initial path was shit. I don't know if she expected you to take blue, but like she should always want to path into you, right? If you're playing
Yeah.
Kindred, you always path into a Kane and you fuck him up, especially when you have a cast mid against a Teemo. I mean, you get
Another another thing when I'm playing Kazakhs is I play a lot less scared as well, which I think helps me. I
mm-hmm.
play with more confidence just because there's not a lot of junglers I've matched up against that I don't win against.
Yeah,
Early and then even throughout the mid to even late game sometimes, depending on who they're playing. But like some of the only junglers I found myself losing 1v1s against earlier, like not even Ringars, fucking Warwicks. Yeah, dude, I think Warwick's like the only one I've ever been just shit stomped by early. And even then, I've come back to win that game.
yeah. Strong
Uh,
picks. They're strong picks.
I think Kha'Zix is also like an S plus jungler right now.
He's very strong. He's very strong. I ban Rengar because Rengar is the most busted champion in the game, like ever. There's never been it's he's like a 57% win rate and like high reload, like a 56% win rate, and he's one of the hardest champions to play. Like it's disgusting how
Yeah,
OP he is.
I used to play a shit ton of Rengar a long time ago, but
Yeah.
I like Kha'Zix better and always have. Mm. But even the Rengars I've gone up against, I still shit on them early, majority of the time.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say shit on them actually. The fights usually go pretty even, but I always come out on top. So long as I just play the fight better. But
All right. So I got 3 things for you here. These are like bullet points, right? And don't try to do them all in one game. I would do like focus one at a time, right, for a couple games. That will help, right? I mean, that's just like bullet point every like kind of the main issues I saw.
so that last one's gonna be huge for me because that's something I just need to do in general.
Yeah, I mean, cause for the most part, like you were like I think the marks also kind of made it easy for you to figure out what
Yeah.
Kindred was gonna do next, right? But like even when you knew what she was gonna do, you were still right making the wrong choice, right? You were just yeah, you gotta like like time doesn't stop, right? Like Kindred is doing shit while you're, going to whatever she's doing. But yeah, I mean overall, like, I mean you played all right. You just, you got behind on a champion that against snowballing champions, right? Cassiopeia and Kindred. You had some opportunities to come back, right? Like it wasn't as the game was not as like as much of a shit stomp as it looked, to be honest. Up
Yeah.
until this lost Baron, you guys actually probably could have won. Like, if you guys would have got this Baron, you could have won. Yeah.
Yeah, the first bullet point you have there, the deep thought to the starting side and initial path, that's actually something that you had as a bullet point when you first ever coached me like four or 5 years ago.
Yeah,
And
because
that is
sorry.
something I still struggle with.
Well,
Like,
it's the most important fucking thing. Like the entire jungle is made off the initial start of it. Like
right. I get really, 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 really stuck in static clear mode. Like, just going the same route every game or feeling like I have to full clear first instead of thinking about what they're doing in their jungle or what they might be doing next. That's
I mean, don't get me wrong, full clearing is alright a lot of the times on a lot of champions. Like when I play Shyvana, 98% of my games I'm full clearing.
yeah.
And it's one of the reasons why I have a lot of success on the champ, because I don't sometimes I will play like I'll tilt, right? And I'll play like Kindred or something, and I'll do some fucking cheesy invade just because I'm like I'm tilted or whatever, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna 3 camp invade this fucker, when like it would have been more efficient for me to do something else. But like when I play Shyvana, it's like, because of the nature of the champion, like you very rarely want to do anything else but just kill all your camps, especially super early. But even when you full clear, you still need to put a lot of thought into which side you're starting. Like
Right.
it can be tempting to always go to the bot side and get that fat juicy leash, but I mean sometimes not getting the leash from the bot lane, letting him bush camp, right? Letting him get an advantage, and maybe your clear's a little slower. It can be beneficial, right? Especially when you're somebody vulnerable and you're worried about an invade, uh,
My clear speed in general is something I need to work on too. That's I'm noticing like a lot of high level junglers and everything, they'll usually, especially on fast clear champs like Kane, they'll be done with clear by 305, 310
let,
usually, and I'm finishing around 315 to 320.
let me show you a quick thing that you need to like. Oh, I think did it cancel my thing?
I just go into practice tool and practice my clears.
No. Can you see my screen?
I can.
Okay.
That's something Nice preaches a lot in his videos to the junglers, is going into practice tool and practicing your clears until you feel like you're confident in how fast you can do it.
It's not even like there's like something that a lot of junglers don't do, or they don't do it to the degree they could, and it looks fucking troll whenever I let the camp reset. But like it's such a rare thing when it happens, and it usually only happens when I'm like pissed.
Yeah, like when I let the fucking golems reset for that. Yeah.
Yeah, like let me how do we fast forward?
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. 30 seconds until minions spawn. Minions have spawned.
So one thing, you can't really do it on buff so much because they can't burn below 1 HP. But let me just show you. It's I don't know what the technical term is. I don't know if it's called pulling. I don't know what it's called, but so when you're killing the camp, right? I could just kill it until it dies right here and then walk to my wolves, right?
Yeah.
But what if I
Leash it down.
even, right? So I could be here, like a lot of people are. They just fight it till it dies here. Or I could pull it all the way here. And I had abilities up, whatever. Like you get my point, right? Like I could have killed it here, but I could have killed it with my W, but I'm just saying, let's say my W was on cooldown, right? And my Q was on cooldown, and I was like efficiently clearing it. But like you get my point, right? Where I pull it basically all the way down here, and so that it dies, and I'm already here at my wolves. And if like let's calculate this, right? It's 240. Hold on, at 250, I'll walk back here.
Uh-huh.
I just increased my clear by 4 seconds
Yeah.
by simply killing the camp right from here. Instead of killing it here and letting it die, I was all the way over here, and that's 4 seconds increased clear speed. And you can do the same thing with wolves, right? I'll do it with wolves, but I'll try to do it a little better so that I'm not just like holding abilities and pulling it.
Yeah.
Right? I'm already here when it dies. And something with Elise specifically too. If sometimes you can even like, because it's not going to be 100% science. I mean, like, you know, the order you use your abilities. I mean, you could probably master it and order your abilities, but like that takes so much mental effort to do that, and it's champion specific. But sometimes you'll be finishing it. You can walk away with Elise specifically, and your spiderlings will still be hitting it, and every time they hit it, they reapply that buff. And I'd legit been fucking here, right? When my spiders got off it, and then it started resetting, and it burned. I mean, like, you can seriously save, like, you know, 25 seconds, 30 seconds on just by pulling it like that, just by always being halfway to your next camp or on your next camp when you kill a camp. So I think over just practicing your clear efficiency, like with, you know, your Qs and your Es and whatever on your whatever champs you're playing, mastering the pulling like that, like the pulling of the camps, is going to be the most efficient way to increase your clear speed. So.
Yeah. So I see it called like just kiting your camps down a lot of the time. And I do try to practice it, and I do try to do it a lot, but not nearly to the level that you've just shown me that you can do it.
Yeah.
Because I've always been way too scared of just resetting the camp on accident.
I mean, you just got it, but like that's the thing, right? If you want to have that fast clear, you got to be pushing the limits. Like most of the time when my Gromp dies, that shit's red. You know what I mean? Like that bar, like it's like one tick away from resetting. And sometimes, you know, one out of every fucking 60 games, 100 games, it might reset on me, but the gain of, you know, the loss of it resetting there is tilting, but like I would like to think that the benefit of me having one camp out of all the camps I clear early game resetting on me like that, right? And it only happening like one every 50 games is like the benefits outweigh the cons, right? The pros outweigh the cons. So
right.
And like another thing with Scuttle, right? Like you have to be a little careful, right? Because sometimes, you know, the enemy, some enemy might come yoink this, but right, same idea. You let that shit burn, right? Let everything that can burn, right? You should never be finishing. You should let it burn. Be on your way to doing something else. You can't do it with the buffs. That's why I like to. That's why on my first buff, I like to kite it, and what I'll do is here. I'll show you actually. How do I teleport?
I think it's on the first one, yeah.
Okay. I'll show you what I do in this one on the buffs. This is the same idea, except since it can't burn below 1, you have to get a little more creative. Right? You smite it, you can let it burn, right? Like let's say it was at 480 or 490. Usually when it gets about 500, because I think it burns for what? 63 magic damage, right? So you know, when
is what this might does at level 1.
yeah, so when the buff gets to about 500, right, you can just start running away. You should already be kiting a little bit, but you just start walking away, and you know, you smite it when it gets below that. Like a lot of the times when I'm starting red here, level 1, I'm usually here when the buff dies, right? I pull it, and then I smite it when it's like right here and about to reset, and it's burned, and then, you know, again, I'm saving 4 or 5 seconds, right? I kill the blue. I'm literally starting my Gromp, attacking my Gromp as the blue, you know, as the blue finishes, right? Or like I'll auto attack the blue to finish it, right? I kill this, I pull it. Same thing. Anyway, that's it. That's the #1 fastest way to increase your clear speed.
It's actually amazing to me how much time you're saving doing that. I didn't realize it was that fucking crazy.
Yeah, you don't think the path from Gromp to Wolves is halfway to Gromp to Wolves is 4 seconds, but it's 4-second walk. Like that's a long time. And when you do that times 3 or when you're full clearing like times 4, That's like 20 seconds, right? I mean, that's a long time. So, yeah. So,
Man. The second bullet point you put as well, the reacting faster, dude, it's not even just that for me. It's playing the game faster as a whole. It's something I've been working on like crazy the past few weeks or past
yeah.
couple of weeks in general. And I'm very inconsistent with it, dude, because I get hung up sometimes. Like I get brain lag and I'm too busy trying to think about what might be going on and it just feels like a beaver dam gets built up in my head and I end up taking longer instead of just moving
Yeah.
or trying to.
There's a reason when you watch like Hilo streams and Twitch chats like, "Oh, this is NA," like, "Oh, this is bronze." Like, what is this bronze game when like there's like a 4v4 in the fucking river at level 2, you know what I mean? But it's because like it's not because it's a fiesta, it's because like the players understand that the game is won or lost off this fight in the river at level 2, right? And whoever's there first, right, wins the fight. And so everybody is just immediately like booking it to that because they know
Yeah.
that like that's everything, right? Like
I didn't truly understand the how the game can be won or lost based on early skirmishes and things like that until I started playing against these better players and seeing just how aggressive they are and
you get
how much
punished.
faster I have to react, dude. I get gapped so fucking quickly if I am not extremely on top of things.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking stressful. This is why I contacted you about the coachings again. Cause like, dude, how long have I been holding on to these 3 sessions? Like 4 years now.
I mean, you're popping off on your games. You just gotta play more, dude. You just gotta play more and drop the cane. If I'm being honest, drop the cane for
Yeah,
now.
I
Drop the
need to.
just because. I mean, get a Smurf and play cane. Like just because you're naturally having more success with easier champions like Kha'Zix and Hecarim, and if you want to get better, you should play easy champions like that. People like to say Kane's
Yeah.
easy, but he's complex. Like
Yeah.
he's not simple.
Well,
He's
Nice has coached a couple of Kane players that were around my elo, like gold plat. I think even maybe a silver one. And I watched those videos to try and see. And he was even telling them like, you can't play this champion. You need to find something else. If you're not going to do what I'm telling you to do and listen to me and play faster or make these decisions faster or do that, you need to play a different champion.
yeah.
And I thought about it in my head, but in my head, when I'm watching him tell these people that, I'm like, oh, well, I'm not like these people. And then I go into a ranked game and I int on Kane and I'm like, well, maybe I am like these people and I should just drop it.
I mean,
So,
it, there's a reason LS tells people to play Annie. Like you just gotta play the easy shit. It's
yeah,
you learn the game, and once you learn the game, learning the champions is easier. If you try to learn the champions, you're just gonna get better at the champion. You're not gonna get better at the game. You're still gonna be plat, but you're just gonna be a plat player who can play Kane instead of a plat player who can't play Kane. Like you're not just suddenly gonna become, like you're not gonna get better at the game by getting better at a champion. Only getting better
yeah.
at the game, get better at will you be able
Which
to improve.
which is what the goal is. And yeah, actually, you know exactly what you just said. Something I saw in another one of his coaching videos yesterday. He was talking about, I think he was like coaching maybe an Irelia mid player or some shit, telling him he needed to swap off it and not fucking play it. And the dude was being super, super hard headed about it. And he's like, listen, you don't even understand the fucking fundamentals of this game yet. I've been challenger however many seasons. I've done so many climbs from bronze to whatever, and even I don't play that champion at this point because like you can't learn those champions until you learn the rest of the game. Like pick up an easier champion,
Why I don't play
get
Talia. It's
comfortable
why I
on
don't
them.
play Rengar. It's why I don't play fucking Ivern. It's why I don't play. I don't play any of those champions. It's why I play easier shit. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't play like easy, but like I don't play like I don't try to play the hardest champion. It's just like I don't play Kiana. I tried playing Kiana,
yeah.
and it's
He said it's like you're trying to climb two mountains at once, and that's
yeah.
what got it through my head. Because you're trying to climb the mechanics of your champion and how to play your champion mountain, and then you're also trying to climb the I'm learning the game mountain on the other side, which is a much bigger mountain, and you're just making it much harder on yourself.
The
And
biggest issue is you can make the correct decision. Like some of the plays you made were the correct decision, but because you're not proficient enough on Kane, you
I
lost the
heard the
fights,
fights.
and
They
it
were
may
fights that could have
yeah, you
gone
may
either
be
way.
like, oh well, I'm trolling, but like no, like that was a great decision, but you're just playing it wrong, and then you're gonna come out of the game being like, I shouldn't do that next time. When you should do it next time, you just need to do it better. But like if you're playing
Right.
something like uh Hecarim, I mean, it's pretty hard to fuck that up. I mean, you can
Yeah.
fuck up your E, you can fuck up your ult, but like that's a lot harder to do compared to the nuances of landing that W and doing it in the correct way and timing
Correct.
your R and I mean angle at which you E. I mean that's a lot more complex. So
Yeah, because there were a couple of fights there,
job's
like
done.
for example, the fight where I should have flash queued on the Cassiopeia. Actually, three fights centering around mid that I can think of right now that if I had just played mechanically better because they were the right decision
Hmm.
and flipped those fights into our favor, the game probably would have gone a totally different direction. I would have been up on the Kindred. We probably would have had more pro. I mean, just a whole bunch of different things
Yep.
if I had just mechanically been better in those fights.
Yep.
Yeah, God.
All right, buddy. Do you I'm probably gonna go stream in a few minutes. Do you have it? We can do another. We can do another coaching next weekend or something if that works for
Yeah,
you.
totally up to you. Whatever your schedule is, whenever you want to do it, is up to you. Because I don't think I'm gonna stop playing anytime soon.
All right, cool.
I'm really invested again.
Good. I think I think you can very easily hit diamond if you limit your champion pool to Kha'Zix and Hecarim and you keep playing like a game or two a day. I mean, you should have no problem hitting diamond this
And that's the
so
goal with me and one of my friends is we wanted to hit diamond this
and
season.
that's with minimal improvement, by the way. You're already playing against basically diamond players. That's with minimal improvement. So, you know, uh, I just, don't get frustrated when your win rate is no longer 85%.
Yeah,
Because
no,
it's
I
not gonna stay
expect
that
it.
way. It's gonna drop to 60, 50, 55, and that's okay. Just don't get tilted, and you won't have any issues climbing as long as
I
you know
won't get tilted unless I go below 55. I expect it to even
you're
out,
gonna go
honestly.
below 55, bro. Unless you think you're hitting challenger this season, you're going below 55. Okay,
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
okay. Don't get tilted. You should get tilted if your win rate becomes 49%. Then you
Yeah,
get
yeah.
tilted.
A couple of 50. Yeah,
Okay.
I definitely did not expect to keep up the pace I'm playing at right now.
Well,
Me and my buddy were talking about it yesterday. I'm gonna plateau soon, and
well, we'll see, buddy. It's okay to plateau. You just gotta push through it.
yeah,
Everybody,
yeah.
the game is, it's peaks and troughs, right? Right? You're gonna go up and
Mhm.
you're gonna go down.
And a big part of it is staying strong mentally through those moments.
Yeah, pretty soon. There's gonna be a run where you're gonna lose 5 in a row because your teammate fucking sucks and you get tilted or throw or something. And the question is, do you quit or keep tilting and losing a bunch, or do you just like make it through?
Right.
That's the difficulty of the mental part of league. All
All
right, buddy.
right.
I will see you
All right.
later, man.
I appreciate it. Thank
Yep.
you.
Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Bye.